IP and amount of ignorant mess we're about to get into right now.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Hello and welcome to a brand new preview episode for Black on Black Cinema. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
And Tiara.
Hello.
All right, guys, we're back. This episode, the episode coming up, episode 203, is going to be on Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. Now, this is not the 2005 version, but rather the original 1967 version. I'll give the log line for this. When Joanna Drayton, a free-thinking white woman, and black doctor John Prentice become engaged, they travel to San Francisco to meet her parents, Matt Drayton and his wife, Christina, are wealthy liberals who must confront their latent racism with the coming marriage announcement. Also attending the Draytons' dinner are Prentice's parents, who vehemently disapprove of the relationship. It's a pretty classic film. If you've never seen it, obviously this is starring Sidney Poitier, Katharine Houghton, and of course Katharine Hepburn. A couple small names there. So this is available to watch on Amazon Prime. So if you have Amazon Prime, go check out Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. Again, this is the 1967 version. And we will review that in depth next week. Okay, so the random topics this week are very random. Tiara desperately wants us to talk about some ridiculous shit, but we're gonna get to we're gonna do a good story first, an interesting one. What is it? Sha'Carri Richardson? Is that how you pronounce her first name? Sha'Carri Richardson. She is the young woman. She's 21 who was supposed to run in the Tokyo Olympics, but instead she lost her spot on the 100 meter because she tested positive for marijuana, which is illegal in the International Olympic Committee.
She's off the relay team too.
Yeah, I saw that
today. She's not going at all.
Yeah, so she will not be running in Tokyo at all. She has come out and said, she knew that this was against the rules. She did it anyway because she had recently lost her mom. And I guess she was, for obvious reasons, stressing and really upset about it. But she knew that it was against the rules. And then when she popped positive, she said, she owns that, right? Like she knew what she was doing. She was well aware of it. I feel like that should be the end of the controversy, but other people feel otherwise. It's not legal to have weed in your system as an Olympic athlete. Whether I agree with using weed or not, is not part of the question for me. I am an advocate for marijuana. I think it's totally fine, but it's not allowed there. So they banned her for a month. They gave her a temporary ban for a month, which excludes her from being in the Olympics. I don't really see the controversy, but a lot of people seem to have an issue with this. Tiara?
Well,
your generation is really upset about this.
I think we should abolish the Olympics because apparently abolish is being used for literally everything that needs what really needs is reform, but people are using the word abolish. And I just have to say that words mean things. So just don't throw certain words that have a pretty much an extreme endpoint.
Right.
When you really mean this needs to change. I mean,
or you just want to boycott the Olympics.
Yes. Yeah. Right. And I mean, I saw the Sha'Carri stuff. I think we were talking about this probably, but I think the issue for me is that they held her up as their own avatar for change or for a cause, or attaching their own personal values and politics to this 21-year-old girl who lost her mom, to the point where it made me wonder, are people advocating for her because they really, really want her to run, or are they actually trying to be supportive of this girl who is just going through a tough time? Right. And I think it's okay to not always have to have a representative for the things that we believe in. So I feel like in this situation, it was pretty clear cut. She did it knowing that she wasn't supposed to. It's dumb that weed is a penalizing factor for athletes, which also deserves to be discussed and should be changed. But also she accepted the consequences. And that's really it. But what I've seen is not that. I'm seeing people move past it and saying like, no, I saw someone say we should just stop smoking weed until she's able to run. I'm like, what?
Who's that gonna hurt? Yo?
hey, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. You're on your own.
And
no.
And
what?
Yes, it's dumb. It's just it's silly, and it's like
it's argument, you know. It's like I'm mad at Mr. Coffee, so I'm gonna destroy mine. But you already bought it though. Like,
yeah, I'm drinking my coffee.
So
but like I remember when she won like a few weeks ago, and people were really happy, which is great. Be happy for people, but it really should just end there, because as soon as people started popping her up, there were a bunch of think pieces about like, you know, how she's representative of our entire culture, blah, 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 blah. The thing that people do when they find somebody they like on social media, they pump them all the way up. And I'm like, no one knows this girl. It's like, yeah, yay, she did something amazing. But it's okay to just leave it at that. But as soon as it started happening, what happened? People started finding old tweets of hers, which is also very weird. Why are you going back to look at someone's tweets just because they became a somewhat household name, or at least on Twitter? And then the downfall started happening. You saw people trying to call her homophobic for some Lil Nas X tweets, which I don't know the context of that, so I'm just not going to pass judgment on that one way or another.
Yeah, she got milkshake ducked.
yeah. I just learned what that term was yesterday, and also she's a Chris Brown supporter.
Oops.
So
good luck.
And like,
this is why you cannot prop people up you don't know. It's a mistake,
right?
It's a mistake.
But it's this thing that happens, and I think this is just like indicative of social media in general, where you find somebody you like and you really really like them, but you forget that this person is a human being.
Right.
That's it. They're a human being, and they're just as flawed, and they have a bunch of shit that like you do, but your shit just isn't made public.
Yeah.
So, and also for her, like, again, the whole going back to fine tweets thing it's weird, because there's no way she probably could have expected to become as big as she was, and for people to do that. But yeah, I guess.
So that don't mean nothing.
But you know what I mean.
You say what you said, nigga. Like,
yeah.
like own it.
I mean, that's why she's not deleting. She's not deleting it. She's not deleting
it.
No.
Right. Like, look. First of all, I'm sorry. Are you done? I'll wait for you to finish.
Okay. Thank you, black man.
The two of you are so stupid. That's right.
What I was gonna say was like, yeah, like, but people, and I agree with you, but people are like, she said what about Chris Brown? Oh, I can't fuck with her no more, which is okay, but it's also like, you just found out who she was yesterday.
All right.
Who cares? Like,
she's also 21 years old.
And like, how does this impact your life? And I see people taking this very personally and like literally projecting on this girl. Yeah. I'm like, go offline, go outside, go to the park, get some fresh air, get vaccinated first, but please get offline.
Vax that thing up, as the new Juvenile song came out today.
Yes.
Stop it. All right, Micah, you're allowed to speak now. A black woman is done.
Are you sure?
Black woman's done speaking.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, I give you permission, black man.
Yes, this is like a date, right? Like I need verbal confirmation that I'm allowed to proceed.
I'm gonna let you just have that. Yeah. But you may proceed. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I googled Sha'Carri Richardson's name, and one of the top stories is Diddy speaks on Sha'Carri Richardson, says our athletes are treated like slaves. And I just felt that was really funny coming from him.
Right, dude. Mr. Exploit him in chief. Like, get out of here.
Is this also the same dude who was like, I woke up 15 cockroaches in my face, and I decided to work hard and be like, no more. I'm never doing this again. That's what he tweeted yesterday.
Look, regarding this young lady, I don't feel sorry for her in terms of like the only thing I feel sorry about for her is the fact that she lost her mother. Right. At such a I don't know how old her mother was, but she's what, 20, 21.
She's 21.
Yeah, so her mom's probably was probably maybe 50 in something, 40s, 50s, something like that.
Right. And
that's sad, man, and that's really sad. I do feel bad that she had to go through that. Is the rule dumb? Maybe, I don't know. Weed don't make you run fast, so I can't imagine that had any effect on her. But at the same time, I kind of get the.
I do want to address optics. That in a second when you get back to it. Go ahead.
I get the optics of the IOC, the Olympic athlete is supposed to be like this specimen of human engineering, right? Like and you the idea of it is just like no, they don't have any pollutants or like they're the perfect human, physical human being and all that. Like I get that bullshit, but I don't necessarily think it's right. But at the same time, like it's a rule they have, and if you want to play in their games, you got to follow by their rules. And it's not like she was. And I'm not saying that she owned up to it and is just like, whatever, man. But I'm talking to the people who are, who just hate rules in general. Like, unless she was in a position to make a stand to like, she wasn't challenging that rule as smoking weed out of protest, right? She did it to cope. And I get it, and she gets it, but the people who hate rules, Tiara's generation, they don't get it for some reason, and that's where the disconnect is, and that's what I don't understand.
The oldest millennials are 40.
I'll be 41 on.
Friday, yeah, huge difference. So, just pointing that out there, so we don't think I'm some Gen Zer, which I'm not. I'm not like 12.
I wasn't done, but that's okay.
No, cutting you off.
No, that's okay. That's okay. You are the guest in my house.
Go ahead.
You are the guest in my house.
King.
You are so ridiculous.
We'll get to it later, but Micah is definitely the more respectable one.
Oh, 100%.
But look, man, I don't think she should have been able to run. That's just, she broke the rules. She knew she broke the rules, and I understand why she did it. So I don't think she should run. At the same time, like, I'm not going to boycott the Olympics or whatever. Right?
You don't want them abolished, Micah?
I don't think they're needed, but I think they're interesting, right? Like the idea of the Olympics, just much like the idea of sport in general, the best people in the world at doing something are all competing to find out who is the best of the best. Like I enjoy that on a conceptual level. But like with all sports, it's the organization that's the problem. It's everything behind it that's the problem. And until that change, and unfortunately that stuff doesn't change. It's very difficult to make that stuff change. I'm not going to boycott the Olympics because a lot of people are a lot of black athletes, other black athletes that you don't know have bust their ass to be here. And I agree with a lot of what you said. These people didn't know this woman a month ago, and it's not, and you don't know her because of her accolades. You know her because of this and this perceived injustice or whatever. And you want something to fight about. This is not something to fight about.
That's my
in my opinion.
This
is not something to fight about. She don't look like she doesn't seem like she's I'm sure she's bothered by it, but but she's not. But this isn't like, she's not saying abolish the Olympics.
She's not making a call to arms over this.
Right. So I don't know. It just the discourse around it is annoying to me.
You know, it's funny. It's like there are actually real things about the Olympics that deserve attention. Like, there were Nigerian relay runners, I think, who withdrew from the Olympics because of high testosterone levels. So they didn't, quote unquote, qualify as women. That's fucked up.
It is fucked up if they're because the Olympic Committee has a history of like not allowing a black woman from racing because her testosterone levels are too high naturally. Like if they're naturally that high, how the hell is that their fault?
Right.
Sorry, I'm a super athlete. My bad.
That is
it's fucked up.
To me, that's a real issue. Because that targets a specific group who will probably beat everybody else.
Probably. Yeah.
And then there's a whole swim cap thing where they barred swim caps for black people who have like afros and dreads and stuff, but need to keep them, under wraps because they said elite swimmers don't need that.
That's not true. What?
But it's something for us.
No, but white women wear swim caps. What the hell are they talking about? White men wear swim caps. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah,
that doesn't make sense.
But these larger swim caps.
I googled Michael Phelps. He's wearing a swim cap.
Right. He doesn't even have long hair. They all wear swim caps.
They're talking about the size of that kind of swim cap because the size of the swim caps that were being presented were for people with bigger hair.
Okay, so
black people.
Okay, so one, I'd have to look more into the information of that to see what they're saying about that. But on its face, that seems ridiculous to me, right? Like it just seems ridiculous. Okay, so let me give an example of something the Olympic Committee did previously that like may tie to that a little bit. Like back a number of years ago, they tried to ban, I don't know if they were successful about it or not, but they had like a serious issue with a certain swimsuit that everybody was wearing. This was like the year Michael Phelps won like a bunch of medals. And they
the pothead, by the way.
Yes, a pothead, which we'll talk about. Like they wanted to ban these particular suits because they made the swimmers more efficient in the water. Like it was just how compressed they were. It made them move quicker than they naturally would. So I don't know what their reasoning is, but there is some level of precedent for that. I'm just saying. But yes, on its face, I agree with you. It sounds ridiculous. Going back to Micah's point of like, and I saw a number of people's point about this for, marijuana not being like a performance enhancing drug necessarily. Mm-hmm. It isn't, but it's not like people think of weed in a way of like, if you do it, right? If you smoke weed, you just get slow, as I saw somebody say online. I'm like, but that's not why people use it in athletics. Like it actually isn't. Like they use it for pain management, right? Like in her case, it's an emotional thing, right? She lost her mom. So, that's not what's going on here, but people use it for pain management, right? Same way they use an ice bath, they use weed, right? Like it's a very similar thing. So it can help with recovery and things like that. That's actually true. It can also help in a sport that she's in. It can help you, increase your appetite so you can eat more, so you can gain more muscle and be faster. Like, so people need to understand that. Right. So they're like weightlifting and shit like that. Like that's a big thing is people do that, right? It's not just to like, hey man, chill out and watch fucking Netflix. It's not just that. There's actually pretty decent science behind all of it. The other thing is, even with all of that, one thing that people are not considering, and again, I am a person, I have a fucking card. I'm not a person who's like, we shouldn't do weed. That's terrible. Like, no, I think everybody should, I think the world needs a lot more of it, to be honest. Maybe help people chill out. But the other issue that people aren't thinking about, and I'm not really surprised because people tend to argue very myopically, is you are arguing an American policy. You are arguing an American perspective. And yes, she is an American, but she is running in a race of international athletes. Marijuana legalization is not as like, hey, half the country is cool with it, half the country isn't, everywhere. Like that's not true. Like it's not, where in this country it's basically seen as a joke. Hollywood like puts everybody. You notice movies more and more. People are smoking weed more and more. It's because Hollywood has determined this is all bullshit, and they're trying to push a narrative that it should end. Right, like the prohibition against it should end. It is largely going to end in this country in the next couple of years, I'm sure. Right, just on a federal level. That's not true in the Philippines. That's not true in Singapore. It's not true everywhere. It's just not. So you can't just say, well, because it's partially legal here in the U.S., it should be illegal. It should be legal across the entire international community. Well, I think it should. They're also making rules for the world. They're not just making rules for America. So you have to get out of that sort of myopic view. And lastly, stop taking this young girl's situation and making it about weed legalization across the United States. Weed legalization in the United States is a very, like, historically very serious, very targeted sort of thing. And being a citizen and having control of who you are as a person and doing the things that you want to do and having those fundamental freedoms is one argument. You do not have to be an Olympic athlete. Those are not two things. They're sorry. Like, if weed becomes legal tomorrow, you could still get fired for coming to work high. You can't go to work drunk, but you can drink alcohol. So, like, don't conflate those two things. That's very silly to me. So, again, she did it. She knew what the consequences were. She was well aware of it. She owned it. Same with, Michael Phelps. You can say, oh, this is against black people, but it isn't, because Michael Phelps is the whitest guy ever, and they gave him a 3-month ban. They did, right? And they didn't even catch it in his system. They saw a picture of him smoking, and they banned him for 3 months. So, look, she owned it. She's an adult. I don't understand why we need to feel the need to infantilize black people when they do something that's wrong, and they acknowledge that they did something wrong. She's doing the thing that we ask people to do all the time. Like, fucking responsibility, personal responsibility. Yeah. No one made you smoke weed. She chose to. She's not saying, well, my life is hard and I had to and I had no other choice. She's saying, look, I knew. I did it anyway. She's 21. She still thinks through her amygdala, right? Like, she is mentally basically a fucking child. And she was like, I'm going to do this thing. There's plenty of things. Also, everybody on this podcast and probably everybody listening has done something illegal, knew you were doing something illegal, and you did it anyway. Speeding is illegal, right? Like, weed, Tiara, you seem like a little bit of a druggie. No, I'm kidding. But, like,
I'm not.
I might have smoked weed
once,
a few times.
Did you inhale or not? No. Hit him with the Bill Clinton. Didn't inhale.
Maybe once.
Once. It was crazy back then.
I really probably think it was probably once. Right. I didn't like it.
Okay.
Didn't like how I felt.
Okay. All right. Right. No, I felt great. Anyway, but the point is, we all do things that are deemed illegal or not correct, that are harmless to other people largely, and we pay the consequences for that. And you have to own it. And you don't teach someone at 21 to then not take not take these consequences and own them. She did it. I don't understand what the argument is. Oh, she's 21 and that's not fair. Okay. She's telling you she's taking ownership of it. I don't know why you can't accept that.
So, and also by making her like this symbol of some cause or whatever, it's also kind of dehumanizing, considering that this is a very personal thing that she's going through. And it's not, at that point, it's not about her. It's about you. And how you feel about the situation.
Right. Your generation has a real problem with that.
No, look, this is not just millennials. It's also whatever your generation is. What is it? Zennials or whatever?
No, don't do that.
X.
Zennials.
X. Yeah. Gen X. We were the cool ones that nobody gave a fuck about. We never accomplished shit. That's our generation. We ain't do a goddamn thing. We didn't. We're sad. But
should've worked harder.
White man did it. He stole it from us. So yeah, look, I think it's unfortunate that she's not going to run in Tokyo. Right. But that's on her. She's an adult.
She's 21. She has
plenty of time.
Yeah.
She's going to crush it. Oh, look, I look forward to watching her kick ass. But guess what? Her not being in the Olympics is not going to stop me from watching a black woman dominate women's gymnastics this year, because no one can beat her. So yeah. Yeah. No, it's not going to, and I don't understand that. Like, I'm not going to support any of the other black athletes? If that's, if you're talking about supporting black athletes, you're not going to support any of the other black athletes?
So you brought up something that I thought was interesting. When you said like people are arguing this from a very American point of view. And also I'm kind of connected to what Mike said earlier about how the Olympics, it's people from other countries too. So even if Americans don't feel so strongly about the Olympics, we don't get to dictate what it means for other people, because it's not just us who's involved in,
right,
how we view the Olympics. Like there are people from other countries who take great pride in this organization, even though it's very flawed and definitely needs some changes.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not just about us on Twitter.
No, I know, but that's a very myopic view, and I'm not surprised that it comes from Americans. I'm not surprised.
Yep.
So,
like, who the hell ever heard of Tonga before that oiled up dude flag bearer was strutting his stuff a couple of years ago? Nobody. But it meant something to those people. That's why they sent the prettiest man they had in that country.
Go out there.
Like, what is his name?
I have no idea what his name is.
He's probably related to The Rock somehow. I don't know.
Of course. I'm pretty sure he was in Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, he was definitely one of those guys.
He might have been.
But that's the thing, is like, we have to not just look at it from our perspective. You have to look at it from a world perspective. And it's just like, drug legalization is not a happy-go-lucky conversation everywhere. It really isn't.
Right.
It just isn't. I wish it were, but it's not. All right, let's talk about what was the second topic? Oh,
Phylicia Rashad.
Phylicia Rashad. So should
she have lost that job?
Yes. Yes.
Oh wait, should we tell people what? I'm assuming people know, but should we just tell people what we're talking about?
All right. So Phylicia Rashad, who played Claire Huxtable on the Cosby Show, an actress, because people seem to forget that these people are actors, not that they are actually the roles that they watched on television as children. She came to the continued support of one Bill Cosby as he was let out of jail for raping a bunch of women on a bullshit technicality. And people rightfully gotten her shit on social media when she was like, "Oh, a great miscarriage of justice has been rectified," or whatever, and they were like, "Go fuck yourself." Her
and Stephanie Mills on that shit.
Look,
and also what's her name from Power, who played Ghost's wife? Can't remember her name. From 3OW.
So all of these people running to Bill Cosby's aid, running to lay on the train tracks that is reality as they ruin their lives. And yeah, she's like head of Howard's I forget
Chadwick Boseman School of Arts, right?
Right.
Is it?
Right, that's right. So, and people came for her and they were like, fuck you. And, you're basically throwing these women who were victims of rape, under the bus, to support your friend. Look, this is another controversy that shouldn't be that much of a controversy. My answer to this is fuck, Phylicia Rashad. That's it. Sorry. I mean,
it's literally by Phylicia. Like, this is it, guys.
Right. This is the one. These are all these memes you young people talk about.
So apparently she's been I don't remember.
Although it's Phylicia, not Felicia.
But but apparently she's been supporting Cosby this entire
the whole
time. But people forgot.
Of course. She's his friend, yo. Like, they worked together for years.
He was the best man at her wedding.
Right. Like, I don't know why people are surprised by this. Yeah. One, she's old, right? And she has a certain viewpoint when you get a certain age, the Tiara, you will realize this. You get stuck in your ways, you get stuck in your thought processes, and it is very difficult to pull yourself out of them. More on that in a story after this one. But
I wish I had a prop for that story. I really do.
But she's old, and two, that's her friend. Yeah. Like, I don't understand why people think that it's all of a sudden we got random people, random women who are siding with Bill Cosby. Why wouldn't his friend someone who he has spent his personal time with not agree with him or think that way. So I don't understand the shock. But look,
should she have lost her job, Michael?
Stuff like this is inappropriate, man. And normally, if she had a Joe job, I would say not really. But like her position as the dean, she can influence minds. She can influence young people, and that's a bit of an issue. I'm not quick to say that people should immediately lose their jobs. I didn't even know she lost her job. I thought she was.
No, she didn't. She didn't.
She didn't. So there's a rumor that Howard was thinking about letting her go. She issued 2 apologies. One on Twitter saying how she stands with survivors, blah, 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 blah. And she did the same thing addressing the parents and students of Howard. I think, yeah, she should have resigned because you can't be in a position of power like that and support Bill Cosby under any circumstance. If I were a theater student, especially as a young woman, I would not feel comfortable coming to her if I had been sexually assaulted by a classmate or whatever on that campus.
Especially in that industry.
Yep.
Where like
it's literally the industry he worked in.
Like it's the industry where casting couches happen and shit like where.
Sir, that's a slightly different industry.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
But like, look at Harvey Weinstein. Like, oh, you got to tickle my balls if you want this job or whatever. You know what I mean?
Glad he's dead.
Like it just.
That's a direct quote from Harvey Weinstein.
Did he actually say that?
No,
probably
not that I know of. I mean, he may have.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want this role that bad.
So I have another, and this is just I don't know if this is true. This is just me guessing, but she probably didn't lose a job because there are probably a bunch of other folks on that faculty who agree with her.
They may. I mean, Bill Cosby was definitely trying to buy.
And he admitted it.
NBC. It's engraved in stone at this point. He admitted to doing it, right?
Like, just don't say like. My thing is, one, you should. Yes, it would be great if she came out and said, "Oh, fuck this nigga," because it is fuck this nigga, and this nigga is also suddenly not blind and wants to come back to the stage, even though he was crying about how he was all blind like a few years ago. But just don't say anything. You don't need to say anything.
I mean, that's the thing. Shutting up is free.
Like, or if you want to say something, you can say, I, instead of acknowledging his release, you can just say, I stand with the survivors. So sexual assault is something that's pervasive in the theater community, and all these women deserve to be heard. And my thoughts and prayers are with them. Something, but you don't. But to come out with that specific tweet, there is nothing else to be interpreted other than the fact that you support that this man raped 60 women, or you just don't believe 60 women that came out against him.
No, she don't believe it. She don't believe it.
And that's a huge problem when you're working with 18, 19, 20-year-olds who are vulnerable. Like, and I can't imagine if I were a parent who was shelling out money to go to Howard for my kid to be subjected to someone who thinks like that.
Here's my question to Phylicia Rashad. Do you think that Donald Trump, all the women who came out against him, do you think any of them are being honest? Like, that's my question. Or do you think that they're definitely being honest, but your guy, it's all bullshit? All 60 of these women or whatever.
Did she ever speak about Harvey Weinstein?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. Like, I'd be interested to know, because folks really have no problem in believing Trump or Weinstein were pieces of shit. But for some reason, they cannot imagine a nigga from Philly did it.
Well,
why?
They always trying to destroy this black man, a black man who also preached respectability politics and pulling.
I mean, look, he wasn't wrong about everything, guys. No, I'm kidding. Let me get this pound cake out real quick for this next topic.
So, it would be very interesting to hear her perspectives on it. But you know what? We could probably just guess. She probably is like, yeah, Harvey Weinstein definitely did that shit. And so did Donald Trump. And also, according to Jana Hoover, OG and Viv from Fresh Prince.
Yeah, she came strong, dude.
She was like, girl, what you doing? Everyone knew what he was doing back then.
I mean, the original Aunt Viv knew.
But unfortunately, Bill Cosby still has a lot of support, the same way that R. Kelly still has a lot of support. I think that Bill Cosby deserved to die in prison.
Agreed.
And yeah, I feel terribly for those women. They ran a local story here in the Bay Area about a woman in Oakland who was one of his accusers, and she was distraught. She was like, that man is evil. He deserved to rot. Like, I don't understand why they did this.
No, they made a mock. I mean, pulling him out on a technicality just makes a mockery of sexual abuse victims. It does. Mm-hmm. Look, if you are planning on jumping into the comments about how Bill Cosby was going to buy NBC, I'm going to need people to understand how much it costs to buy one of the top 3 original television stations in the country, and realize that Bill Cosby was never going to buy NBC.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else, but cool.
I mean, look, he's not long for this world, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I am. Like, yo, if you go to a Bill Cosby show after this nigga's gotten out,
piece of shit.
Yo, you're a piece of shit. Yo. Like,
and also, no station should be interviewing him.
No, fuck him.
Don't interview him. Like, I saw, I think it was Hollywood Reporter or someone that said, yes or no, should Bill Cosby be interviewed? No. Like, no. You want to hurt him the worst? Ignore him. Attention.
Yeah, give him no attention. All right.
Pretend like he's dead.
I do.
Yeah.
So whatever. All right. You want to introduce the next topic? Mike and I are going to we're going to go wear our 3-piece suits for this one.
Okay, everyone. So the turkey leg hut, which if you're on Twitter, I'm pretty sure you've seen all of the jokes, decided to implement a dress code.
Look, I'm going to tell you, hold on a second. These memes are fucking hilarious. I would just like to point out they're hilarious. Go ahead.
Are hilarious. Now, if you're also familiar with Turkey Leg Hut, you've probably seen their Facebook videos of their food items, such as their signature Alfredo shrimp stuffed turkey leg, which I had personally. It was fucking delicious.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I would definitely dress up to go eat that. Or the Hennessy glazed turkey, or the Ciroc mango habanero glazed turkey leg. A black ass restaurant.
Yo, it's got Ciroc in it?
Ciroc mango habanero glazed turkey.
All right.
Then you've also probably seen the controversies from last year where one of the owners was like, don't be dancing on my tables. And then he went into a whole thing about how women need to be respecting themselves, because if you don't respect yourselves, then no one else will, which is super problematic. But at the end of the day,
wait, that wasn't at the Turkey Leg Hut, though.
All right.
That was also at Turkey Leg Hut.
Yo, you ain't say all that shit, yo.
No, hold up. No, wait, was that wasn't, no, but that's not the, that's not the, year. Yeah, but was that the thin black dude who was like, could y'all stop like twerking like during brunch or some shit? I thought that was like a restaurant.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, I was gonna say that wasn't a Turkey Leg Hut.
That's a different restaurant. Okay, you're right.
No. But I will say, like, I didn't agree with everything he said. I didn't disagree with everything he said either. But go ahead.
Wow, nuance. I'm really sad that we have that.
Yeah, I know
on this show.
Really, like, you don't need to twerk at a nigga's restaurant. Yo. Like, you go sit down, yo. Come on
the table.
Yo, I'll get into it. Go ahead.
People put their food there.
And also, what if you fall and bust your ass? Then
that's an insurance policy issue, man. Come on, yo, sit down.
Sit your ass down.
Nah.
But Turkey Leg Hut decided to implement a dress code where they say that all arms and breasts and the thighs and ass must be covered.
No. Let me read what they said. Let's give the Turkey Leg Hut what they said. I don't want to misquote them.
Just like you are from the civil rights era, and you better go meet Dr. Martin Luther King. That's how
they had to wear the same thing to cross the fucking the Pettus Bridge to go to Turkey Leg Hut. No, so here's what they said. They said no excessively revealing clothing, including distressed or ripped clothing that is revealing. Shorts must cover your entire bottom. No house attire. This includes wave caps, do-rags, house shoes, or shower caps. No exposed undergarments, including sports bras, panties, or any garments resembling these items. No obscene language or baggy clothing. No inappropriate graphics or language on clothing. No excessive baggy, sagging pants. No swimwear of any kind is allowed. Micah?
Why can't niggas wear do-rags?
Micah? Tell me if you had a problem with any of the things that were listed there.
No, not at all. I don't. Who was going to the turkey cut in board shorts? You going in a two-piece? Miss? I'm shaking my head because I should be able to do whatever I want because I was born in a certain time period and I have it difficult, so I should be able to do whatever I want. I should be able to just walk into a turkey leg hut wearing a two-piece bikini. A ripped two-piece bikini with the word fuck on it.
Wearing a do-rag.
While wearing a shower cap.
I have a question.
That's what your generation is advocating. That exact outfit.
Why are y'all so anti-black?
Well, I guess my question is, why do you feel that black people should have to dress this way?
Just let y'all know so I'm not lying.
We can't say Houston Turkey Leg Hut accused of having anti-black dress code. Yo, none of this is black clothing, yo. None of it is. None of it is. Like, none of it is. Like, it's not like no dreads. Like, that would be anti-black.
No box braids.
Right.
No
like
afros. What the fuck?
I don't understand. Look, I think this is all very funny, and I really thought the memes were hilarious. But I'm not gonna lie. What this feels like is niggas don't like rules at all for anything. Y'all starting to sound like white people. Like, you don't want nobody to tell you on nothing. You know what I mean? Like, white people get like that. Like, you ain't gonna tell me to get vaccinated. Fuck that, right? Like,
that's actually a really good point. But go ahead.
Yeah, but I also think there is another aspect to this, right? Which is black people will wear nice clothes to go to a nice restaurant owned by white people. But they will not show the same not always. I'm not saying always, because there are plenty of, black owned shit that people dress perfectly fine. But people will get up in arms if a black company is asking you to show their place a level of respect. I saw people saying like, it's under a tent, so fuck them. Bitch, you ate there yesterday. What the fuck? How you giving them a hard time? What the fuck?
They do have outdoor seating under a tent, but they actually do have a real restaurant, and also, so what?
So what? It's still it's a black business, yo. They don't want.
You can respect it or you can leave. You don't have to go. And so there's also something else, because I think this is important. They said on Instagram, please know that we are a family-friendly restaurant that serves all ages from children to adults daily, and putting this dress code in place is necessary to ensure that all parties from our guests to our staff are dressed appropriately when in our establishment. Unfortunately, due to the attire of some guests, we were forced to put this new policy in place as we remain committed to ensuring all guests are comfortable while visiting us. We are not a club. We are a family-friendly restaurant and will continue to maintain our standards as we welcome everyone to Turkey Leg Hut. We appreciate your cooperation and looking forward to having you visit us. Here's the thing. What stood out to me is the fact that they were forced to put this in place.
Right.
That people were coming in acting like a fool like they at home.
Hot ass mess.
Yo, it says no swimwear. What are you niggas doing? No, you can't like, look, man, I get it. And I'm gonna say something that's gonna definitely get me in trouble.
Go ahead.
And look, and I'm okay with that. That is what I do. I feel like this is an exact offshoot of this no shame, no rules fucking like behavior, right? There's no rule. There's nothing. You can't say nothing to anybody about anything. Everything is acceptable. You gotta love and everything has to be celebrated. Nah, yo, it's not oppressive clothing to wear jeans and a fucking t-shirt. It's not.
It's not business. Go.
It's not. Just stay the fuck home. Stop dressing. Yo, no house shoes, my nigga. Put on real shoes, yo. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. It's not.
So
I don't get this.
Here's a question. Why do you think, because you brought this up about how people would dress nicely if this were a white restaurant. why do you think people are so upset at this because this is a Black restaurant?
I don't know what the reason. Well, I have my suspicions of what the reason is. What I would say is it's the same reason that Black people, some Black people, not all, some Black people try to get discount from other Black businesses just for being Black. That's not respecting that business, right? Black people are allowed to have nice shit too. We are. And it's not wrong for them to want to have a nice fucking business where people aren't swag surfing in their fucking bikinis over their turkey legs. Like, it's okay for them to have standards. It's not right for us to impose that they should have no standards because we're Black and they're Black. That's not fucking right. And that's not actually supporting Black people. Now, again, if they said no dreads or, no Black lives, no braids, no Black Lives Matter t-shirts, I'd be like, all right, God, all right, well, fuck y'all. But they're literally saying, like, people are like, oh, well, the owner had a picture of herself in some ripped jeans. That's not what they're talking about. Right. They're not talking about that.
You know what they mean.
I've seen girls and guys both in jeans where the entire front is missing. I'm like, why are you even wearing jeans? That's what they're talking about. Like they said, it's a family friendly restaurant. It's because y'all got your asses hanging out. That's why.
And again, people were definitely taking advantage for what they thought Turkey Leg Hut was about. And like I said, I've been there. They do play really good music. People have a really good time. People laugh loud or stuff like that. And yes, they do have a liquor license, obviously, since they put Ciroc glazes on there.
You goddamn right.
But at the same time, there are plenty of places that do that, and they also don't allow that. And it's also something else that's really interesting, because some folks who I saw criticizing this are definitely some people who I know are in the DC area. And I'm like, so I know you'd definitely be going to brunch in DC. You don't dress like that.
You don't.
You definitely don't dress like that going to Black-owned restaurants or whatever in DC or Silver Spring, whatever the fuck the rich Black people live.
Micah.
People
on
this call.
My sister just got married and somebody came to the wedding in a dress with her pussy hanging out. Like it was like he
texted me. He was like, "Yo, what the fuck is going on?" Not a picture, just a comment.
No, just a comment. I wouldn't take a picture. I wouldn't be caught dead trying to take a picture of what that woman was wearing. But it was a dress, and it wrapped like around the shoulders and came down, but the split was in the middle and above her crotch. It's like, what the fuck? Like,
she trying to get a husband?
Type of shit they talking about, yo.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, we have, like, I know, man. Look, I get it. That idea of you shouldn't be ashamed of yourself. You should be, you should accept yourself as who you are and present yourself. Nothing wrong with that. That is a perfectly reasonable perspective. But I think some niggas have taken the shit too far. And it's just like, ain't no rules, Ain't no shoes, no shoes, no shirt, no service. They're like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. And that's where you are. That's where you are. Like, come on, man. Again, I don't personally wear one because I'm bald, but like, you gotta wear a wave cap or a do-rag outside. Like, come on, man. Like, that's for the inside of your house, Like, that's for your house. A shower cap,
because you wear it because you go to sleep and you want your hair to stay. Like, you're not asleep, nigga. If you were doing what you were supposed to be doing, you can take the fucking do-rag off and show everybody your waves.
Yeah. What if there's a wave check? You just gonna go out there? Come on, man.
Some people have also called the dress code
anti-Black,
classist.
No. Poor people are not required to wear a wave cap outside. That don't give you more money. What the fuck does that mean? No, Again, if you're talking about, like, okay, it's classist. I guess you could make that argument. I think what you mean to say is people who want to dress like they dress at home. And maybe this is the attire of people who don't have as much money. I will grant you, maybe perhaps. But if they want to dress like how they dress like inside their house, You're not at your house. You're not at your house. I got sweatpants. I don't wear sweatpants out, yo. I don't. Some people do. I don't. If I'm going to Home Depot, I put a pair of jeans on or some shorts.
So I think
just don't.
What's classist about putting shorts on your ass?
Mikey, you don't be telling this black woman what to do. But like, I feel like this. So I just saw this tweet that says, I imagine a place called Turkey Leg Cut can't be all that gourmet of a dining experience to warrant this dress code.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, yo. Again, 2 weeks ago before this came out, y'all were touting this place like it was the shit, but you can tear it down now because black people have standards. What the fuck, man?
Here's
people
my
are saying
thing.
it's in the middle of the hood, and they serve
Everybody,
finger food, so.
everybody complaining does not dress like this.
Right. Thank you.
They're not walking around in two-piece bathing suits outside, and they're not at a beach. They're not walking around with a bunch of. They're not walking around with shower caps on, nigga. Shower caps. Plastic shower caps. They're not walking out. They're not walking into fucking Target wearing a shower cap.
Y'all not going down to T-Volve and in a Barnum or whatever Monique be talking about.
No, I wouldn't, because I respect that black business, because I care about my people and I want my people to succeed. I do. I just will never understand not giving black people like an ability to grow. But instead, you're like, I'm never going to eat there. So you're now going to shit on them for wanting to have a nice place to eat.
Niggas are not going to stop going to the restaurant.
I know they're not. They're full of shit. Also, 99% of the people complaining have never been there or never going to go. They're never going to go. I'm going to go when I go to Houston, though.
I know. When I went, I had on shorts.
Were they covering your entire bottom, according to this list?
Nah, they were booty shorts, frayed at the edges, hanging off her ass.
All the camel toe and the boobs out, just
with the word ass on the left cheek and cheek on the right one, while wearing a bonnet and a sports bra with one boob hanging out. That's what she was wearing.
That's a classic Turkey Leg Hut look.
That sure was.
That's the classic tiara look.
Hey, that is not true. Do not be slandering me here on this prestigious thing we're doing.
She's like, my shorts don't have the frayed on the bottom. That's crazy.
Mine are folded. I'm wearing shorts.
Exactly,
now.
like classy.
So, I do be walking around with like, a crop top and stuff on. So I do feel some type of way about that. That is kind of.
But it don't say nothing about you can't wear a crop top.
First of all, it's not anti-black. Stop saying that shit. It's not anti-black. It's not. Because white people dress like trash too.
They do.
Twitter,
they do.
Go to South Baltimore. You will see a lot of it.
Look, I walked into a Walmart the other day against my better judgment.
Come on. That's the haven of shit like this.
It is.
They don't want their place to to look like the clientele of Walmart. I get it.
Someone says black people being anti-black and deeply invested in respectability, even to the detriment of themselves and their people, is nothing new.
It's not respectability to ask people to dress nice at your restaurant. What? So my question is, and Micah's point is perfect. You don't dress like that. So what are you making an argument about this for? You don't. So only at black restaurants can we just treat it like shit, right? But you somehow support black people too. It's bullshit. It's bullshit.
Isn't respectability like the argument that, well, we should look and act a certain way to appease white people?
Yes.
Like, that's not this, yo. Like,
white people are not involved.
Stop calling it respectability politics, yo. It's not. It isn't. This is just people respect my business politics. Respect my house, yo. You ain't going to your mother's house looking like that. You ain't going to your friend's house looking like that.
And even if you do, that's their business to allow you to do that.
And they could also be like, you dressing like shit. Take that goddamn swim cap off and get out of here. Like, they're allowed to say that. No,
so-
this to
My
me,
house
I'm
is like the Olympics. I don't want you wearing them fucking swim caps. Get out of here.
I support the turkey leg hut in this. I don't think they're wrong. I don't think they're wrong at all.
I will be wearing my my auntie garments and church hats to get my Cajun crawfish mac and cheese stuffed turkey leg.
Yeah, as you should. As you should. Look, I'm coming in there dressed like a doctor in the 1900s. Fucking, or you know what? Fuck that. Just like Malcolm X in the beginning of that movie in a fucking zoot suit. That's what I'm wearing, so I can get my macaroni and cheese turkey leg.
Oh, Jay, they got jerk chicken tacos.
I'm going dressed like I'm going to church in the wintertime. Fuck that.
Well, you go to a hippie church. Some jeans and a t-shirt, then.
Old school, man. Old school. 11 to 1 church service.
All right. Yeah. So look. All right. Yeah. So they have sauteed spinach and turkey leg cut sauteed spinach as sides. The turkey leg sauteed spinach has shrimp, mushrooms, and red onions, and it's $8. Whereas the regular sauteed spinach is fresh spinach sauteed with minced garlic and our homemade seasoning for $4.
I'll eat that.
I'm getting the turkey leg cut one.
Look. All I can tell you is this.
Mad good.
Look, here's what I can tell you. After reading the menu on turkey leg hut, don't talk to me about not taking vaccines, my nigga. Like, don't.
Oh yeah, you know,
black people don't do that. Yo, don't do that. Yo, this food is insane.
Yo,
putting up my body's gonna hurt it.
I know these same niggas are not complaining about a goddamn dress code when that shit was jumping. Turkey leg hut was jumping. I saw the Facebook videos in the middle of a pandemic last summer before we had a vaccine. There were no masks. People were in there eating like there was no pandemic. I want to hear nothing about this dress code. If you ain't getting vaccinated, or if you're one of them folks who was like, yeah, I'm gonna go get myself a turkey leg, and you one of the ones who was like, fuck COVID, or COVID ain't real, or on some conspiracy shit, don't be talking about the dress code, yo.
I'm dying to see what some of these people will wear. Like, I'm scrolling through their Instagram and I'm trying to go as far back as I possibly can.
Trap Bunch Twitter is not this upset about this in real life.
Nobody is this upset about it.
Like,
no one is. No one is.
Because I see the Instagram photos of people going to brunch, especially now that people are vaccinated. People are dressed up to go to brunch and get bottomless mimosas.
Yeah, you should be. Put your fucking brunch boots on. Come on, yo, stop it.
So
at least on the East Coast, yo. Look, people wear their nice clothes.
And what is a dress code? So what would they like the dress code to say?
They don't want rules, yo.
They don't want rules.
They don't want any rules.
Your generation don't want rules, yo.
They don't. They don't. You know it's true. You know it's true. Look at you. You hating the rules now.
Millennials are 40.
Yes.
Your age.
Not my age. I'm 41.
Whatever. Same thing.
I don't know them. No, but seriously, that there is a large population of people who just don't want rules. They don't want rules to apply to them about anything. They want to do whatever they want. That's not how the world works.
But yeah, I got to stand in my truth. I got to be me.
Then,
and if you don't accept me from me, then I'm going to throw some sort of hot take or some language that I just learned on the internet, but I really don't know what it means. But it makes me sound really smart and like I'm some sort of advocate for a cause that I really don't know nothing about. So.
No, that's fine. Then make your own turkey leg at home. You just get some Easy Mac, put some water in it, throw it in the microwave, stir it up, and pour it over a fucking warm turkey leg.
I don't know what they do to those turkey legs, so them things fall clean off the bone, and it came out mad. They must have mad pressure cookers back there, yo.
They just got 50 pressure cookers.
I'm trying to figure out like where they get these turkey legs from.
It's a lot of There's a lot of one-legged turkeys walking.
And them
around.
Turkey legs are huge too.
Oh, that's America.
So you don't know what kind of shit they be feeding them turkeys before they get thrown to them.
Of course. So, all right. So there you go. Turkey leg hut controversy solved. Put some regular clothes on and stop acting like
black right now. Wow.
I don't know, man. I believe in supporting black people, and if they want to have a nice business, they're allowed to. I know. What a crazy idea. Yeah, and Mike is right. Stop calling it respectability politics. White people are not involved in this at all. It's just black people wanting a business to be run nice. That's it. And look, that other story of like the black dude who was like, could you please stop twerking in my restaurant? He wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong. What he said and the way he said it was kind of fucked up. I agree with that. Like, listen, you need to, do all that. I'd be like, just get up from my table. Like
this isn't a dance floor.
It's not a dance floor.
Not a dance floor.
We are not a club.
It's a dining area.
Yeah, and that other restaurant was like, you come twerk over here. Good.
Yeah, go.
Good. Bye. Bye. Guess which one is going to sustain? Guess which one's going to sustain? The one having people up there twerking and acting crazy, or the one where it's just a regular fucking restaurant with good food? I'd bet the regular restaurant. You get more people, you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. So,
and I swear to God, I just want to go to a place and just eat.
If I go into a restaurant and niggas are twerking and shit in there, I'm leaving.
Especially if it's specifically if it's a place that's not meant for that.
Right. If it's a place like a family restaurant and they in there twerking, I got a kid, don't do that. Like, there are places for adults and there are places for kids. That's why I don't take my kid to a club. Right? Like, like there are places for adults, and that's fine. But if I go into a Shoney's and niggas are shaking their ass on the table, I got a problem with that. I would never
imagine walking into a Bennigan's.
Yeah, it's like
motherfuckers are just and it's Bourbon Street and shit.
No. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, there's a time and place for everything, and that's okay. It's okay. There's nothing wrong. Look, I love y'all Instagram videos when y'all be twerking. I love it, and I look at them to make sure somebody else don't see them.
Just to let you know,
but that's
someone
not for
somewhere is listening to this and is going to say, or probably thinking,
good.
Well, if you have a kid, you need to teach your kid to not see me as in that kind of way, or you can just keep the kid at home. Or something.
Oh, wait, no. Let me guess. Normalize twerking in restaurants, right? This is the new thing.
I never want to hear the word normalize.
People use I hate your generation is terrible with words.
That word, and I honestly, I would say it, the word abolish. I'm tired of it, because
abolish, normalize.
That and people using violence, the word violence, and just.
I don't like that one, Choose violence.
Abolish normalizing
violence.
Not violence because it's problematic.
Damn, that's a good ass show title.
I never want words mean things.
Yeah, they do.
They mean things.
I don't like the violence thing. It's annoying. I'm like, you just that wasn't violent. You just chose to do something you wanted to do. That's not violent.
Something that happened to you, but you just had a bad reaction to it. You just didn't like it. Is not violence. And I'm not talking about people who actually had real traumatic things happen to them. But
no, you mean the bullshit way people say it.
Right. And also, I don't believe that most of y'all niggas are in therapy. And if y'all ain't listening.
You don't believe victims. Got it.
Damn, that's what I heard.
Ha 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 ha! That's my confirmation laugh.
Oh, see, tacit confirmation. There you go.
Some niggas are lying. Look.
I've said it long before. I don't believe 95% of the shit I see. I graduated from law school. No, you didn't. You just want attention on Twitter. You're lying. Show me your degree. Show me a picture of it.
I know. Look,
you're lying.
We talked a lot about how we feel like people are full of shit and abolish prisons. And all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just gonna say, saw some of those same folks who were like, I'm all for abolishing prisons, but Bill Cosby gotta go to jail and die in jail. Look.
Yeah, of course. None of it means anything.
I agree. He should die in jail. But then again, I'm not like an abolitionist or anything like that.
These people are the worst. Yeah, your generation's awful. All right, that's it for us.
Oh my God.
No, let me mute you. I'm just kidding. All right, that is it.
Censoring black women. Jesus Christ. All of these motherfuckers are problematic.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to abolish her statements. All right, that's it.
Stop. Words mean things.
They don't. You
can't just say that.
They don't anymore. I woke up this morning and chose violence. I don't know what to tell you. I hate those kind of comments.
Everything. This whole conversation has been so problematic, and I'm like super triggered right now. And I feel like my mental health and well being is at stake right now.
Yeah, so everyone has mental health issues now. It's amazing. All right. That's it for us. We will be back with our problematic selves next week for episode 203. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. Thank you. All right. Later, guys.
See you.
Bye.
You're watching the Black on Black Cinema YouTube channel. Make sure you check out our full reviews of Black movies, past and present. And every other week, we do a preview episode where we talk about a random topic that affects the Black community.